Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Comics Code Authority. We are back. It's your boy Rover Queen, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely, scrumptious, delicious, handsome, and flavorful homeboys. Fellas, please introduce yourself. Elvis, you could go first.
Hello, yeah, it's me, Elvis. I'm back. Glad to be here. Talking about whatever came up in comic news this week.
All right, AJ.
Yeah, as always, I'm AJ. It's good to be here. Yeah, a few things have happened since we've last did one of these, so should be a nice episode.
All right. So let's jump right into the thick of it. We had a couple trailers that dropped. Let's start with the more fun one. Spider-Verse 2. After all this time, after all this waiting, it's finally fucking here. It looks fun. It looks like it'll be a good time. Um, I just hope the story is still pretty simple. It's easy to follow. I hope we don't get too crazy with the multiverse stuff that it takes away from the story. But other than that, I'm pretty excited, man. Hey, I know I give Spider-Man a lot of shit, but I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. Spider-Verse was one of the better Spider-Man things as of late. So this second trailer definitely convinced me. What about you guys? And what do you think?
It looks fun. The first movie was fun. It was great. Was probably the best comic book movie of the year that it came out. I wouldn't be surprised for Spider Verse 2 to be much of the same, but yeah, it looks like a good time, and I'm ready to see it.
What about you, Elvis?
Well, my first thought when they announced the sequel was like, I hope it's not our multiple story. But then, I'm like, you know what? If that's what the theme of this trilogy is going to be, fine. The trailer, I'm not really into the trailer because I don't know. It just, I think that a lot of the CGI of the spider realm of the club, the council of spiders, what you want to call it, looks really shit. Like, I think that maybe probably going to be updated as it goes along. I
Mm-hmm.
think maybe having that many CGI models all at once, they're not making it. Some of them look as good as they could be, but it looks like just unfinished, unrendered uh, mob scenes, and it's like this doesn't look good, and that's how it is gonna be like. Then I don't know why they did it that way. They didn't have to have all these fighters. Just having more quantity isn't the same
Yeah.
thing as quality, And a lot of those backyard spiders look like garbage, so it's worse on a big screen. Story wise, I mean, none of these trailers show anything, and I'm not that interested so far. Story wise, I think it's gonna be good. I trust the credit team. They obviously knew what they were doing the first time. So I'm excited, but the trailers weren't that good.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, we'll see. Again, I don't know. I feel like after the first movie, the demand was, oh, we want more Spider-Man. I think there was one Spider-Man in particular people wanted. Um, the Japanese one. I don't know if he has a specific name, but yeah, I remember they said something along the lines of if the first Spider-Verse makes X amount of money, which it did, then they'll include that one. But I guess somewhere down the line that turned into a shit ton of Spider-Man. So and I guess hopefully they don't bite off more than they could chew. Because again, one of the reasons why I like the first one was because it was a pretty small cast. They were able to do a lot with that cast, and I don't want the story to suffer because now all of a sudden it's, oh, we got this Spider-Man, we got this Spider-Man, we got this Spider-Man, we got this Spider-Man. Like, simple is better. I mentioned it before when we got on air. I don't know. I feel like lately when Marvel or DC have tried to do these big bombastic stories, especially in like TV and movies, it's really not. It doesn't work out well. But I think Spider Verse did a good job of just keeping it simple. It did a lot for Miles Morales in terms of popularity. So I'm just hoping the story's good.
I do want to say one thing though.
What's up?
All right. So like the trailer for this and trailer Blue Beetle came out at the same time. People were saying finally for Blue Beetle, movie for Latin American superhero, right? And everyone started saying, "But what about Miles?" And like, valid points, but Well, the people who were kind of like gotcha have to understand is that Miles has been written by hack like Brian Michael Bendis for like 99% of his portfolio, and those guys didn't give a shit about him being half Latino. All right, so like it's okay if you forgot that he's half Latino because the writers and Marvel didn't give a shit until like very recently.
Yeah, didn't he it was Bendis and then was there somebody in between Bendis and Ahmed? And then now it's the dude who's writing who wrote Spider-Punk. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But yeah,
I don't think so. I think Bendis was writing Miles for a long time. So
okay.
I think that because this is only like his third run, I want to say.
And this freaks me out for one thing because when they did Spider-Man 2, because Spider-Man was like, oh, like what if Ultimate Spider-Man Miles crossover Peter Parker the Medium Secret Wars, And after Secret Wars, they did Spider-Man 2, and it's like, oh, who's Miles Morales the 616, and it's this distinctly Hispanic Latin looking dude. I'm like, that's weird. He's like a supervillain and everything, like. So the good Miles Morales who's half Latino it has very understatedly written and designed as Latino, but he had the 100% Latino coded Ricky Ricardo looking dude, Ricky Martin looking dude who's a supervillain, like and Latino like that. I don't know. I think Bendis is a racist motherfucker. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's now that you mentioned
a Mids one. Now that I think about it. I mean, not that I'm trying to give Bendis any slack, but
no, it was written by that Spider-Man 2 was written by Bendis. So when it gets right.
I know that. No, I'm talking about 616 Miles.
Yeah, he was in Spider-Man 2.
I'm getting my
Maybe he showed up later. I'm not quite sure how they deal with him being a Spider-Man 2. But just that design, I was like, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I feel like I do agree because I feel like his nationality has been swept under the rug, and because it's like they don't even call Miles the Latino Spider-Man, like they just call him the black one, like that's all. There's like that's all they. Whenever we talk about Miles, like it's not the Latino dude, it's just the black Spider-Man. I was like, oh he's Latino. He's Latino.
Yeah, it's because
the movie is the only thing that I can kind of bring that to the forefront,
Yeah, because I mean, for a large part of it, his mom had been somewhat of an afterthought. I want to say if I'm remembering that first run, I think it's his mom who dies as opposed to his father. Like his dad getting killed off, that's been more of a recent thing, even though they haven't done either in these last two runs. But I want to say his mom got killed off in the first one, and I think that's probably a large focus of the people just focusing on him as a black Spider-Man as opposed to an Afro-Latino Spider-Man.
No, it's fun. Race was weird how that works, but I mean, I do like that the movies. Well, these two have tried to touch on that a little more. And I'll be honest too. Like I have also forgotten, like low key outside of the movie, like oh shit, he's a Latino Spider-Man, because again they don't really touch on that. It's just more let's focus on Miles Morales and his adventures. But yeah, it's good that they're touching on that, and hopefully we do see more of that. It looks like they're touching on that in the trailer, which was pretty enjoyable. But yeah, no, overall I'm for it, dude. I'm for it. I like the growth that Miles Morales is showing, especially like popularity wise. If anything, a lot of people are sweeping this under the rug too. Like I feel like Miles Morales, outside of like the whole culture war nonsense, he's in a much better spot than Peter, and he's been like that consistent. I don't think a lot of people talk about that because I feel like the Peter Parker fans are fucking struggling right now.
I mean, they've been struggling since One More Day, bro. Like it's just
Miles is easy because he's actually a young Spider-Man. You can do this stuff without having to like mangle his character. You can't do young Spider-Man stuff with Peter without like regressing him like 90% of the time.
Yeah. So hey, and that could be it too. I don't know. I feel like maybe it's just me. I feel like we can live in an era where both are thriving. But again, it always goes back to this like, hey, we me and AJ do the sales stuff every month. For all the talk about Peter and how bad he's doing, bro, that book is still selling better than Miles's. But also on the same time, Miles is not selling too far below what Peter is selling. So it's a weird contrast between the two. But whatever, man. I'm happy for Miles. It's growth for Miles, and I will be seated for Spider Verse 2 because it looks great. It looks great, and I think this is a part one this is part one. And then is part two coming out
Yeah, part
late?
two's next year.
Okay, all right. And is that are they considering it like the final movie, or are this just like part of like
Yeah,
a
it's the final
trilogy?
movie. It's like Matrix Evolution, Generation Resurrection. I mean, not Reloaded, Resurrection. They basically greenlit two movies back to back, and so it's part one, part two, but there's like it's a trilogy, you know.
I'll say this
Plus, we
right
got all the
now.
Spider-Verse now.
I'm gonna say it right now. I don't think this is. I don't think it's just gonna be three movies. Or I don't think so. I think the
It
first one
depends
made.
on the money that it makes, but
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely see it being more. See, the thing is that the first Spider Verse didn't make a. It did well. It made its money back. It did some profit, but it wasn't like a gangbuster hit. But
Mhm.
it built up so much goodwill from 2018 to now that I think this one's going to be massive. So
Yeah.
I could absolutely see them it being propelled into, you know, 4, 5, 6 movie, depending on how strong the response is for these next two.
Yeah, because again we see this all the time. Like we just saw it with John Wick. If anything makes a killing and it just does well, the conversations are gonna start to happen. Like money fucking talks, and there's no way they're gonna leave money on the table when it comes to Miles. I mean, come on now, his comic book is doing great. Spider
Yeah.
Verse one did great. The video game is doing great. So I mean, why not?
And John Wick's the perfect example because that's another franchise where the first film is not like that. The first movie didn't make a killing. It was supposed to be direct to video first off, and then they gave it a theatrical run, and it made like $100 million. I think the budget was around 30 to 33, so they were like,
Shit.
okay, let's run with this. And you know, now here we are. They just had their fourth movie out, and it's made the most out of any of them. Yeah, you know, sometimes, like I said, the response can propel these franchises forward, even when a first movie might not have made just, you know, a ton of money, and you end up getting a whole saga out of it.
Yeah, man. So why not Miles, man? Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not?
Mhm.
Yeah, man. So I love to see it. Like I said, I'm in there day one. I always say this. I don't like going to see these movies, but if it looks good enough, I'll be there, man. I'll be there. I'll be there. But yeah, man. We also got another trailer that dropped. Hey guys, finally, Captain Marvel 2, the Marvels, and same thing. Honestly, it looks fun. Great to see these three finally meeting together. And yeah, I don't know. So all I can say is it looks fun. Um, hopefully it's not. Hopefully they don't try to overcomplicate it, and hopefully they can make all three characters shine. And yeah, and also yeah, Brie Larson looks great, man. Listen, Elite Milk. I get to see her twice. I get to see her Fast and Furious, and I get to see her in Captain Marvel too. But yeah, man, it looks solid to me. It looks solid. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I thought the trailer was fun. You know, it's just a teaser, so it didn't tell a whole bunch. I guess not more so than what we already knew that it was going to be a team up movie between the three of them, and their powers were going to be on the fritz. Um, yeah, like I said, it looks fun. I'm The trailer was fun. The only thing that kind of bothered me was I don't like their suits. Once they're all in space, yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
Mm,
Carol's suit when she gets warped into Kamala's room, that's nice. I dig that suit. That's the one they should stick with for her. Kamala, I don't know why they just didn't stick with her suit from her Disney Plus series. I guess they wanted to, put a few more dollars behind it, but that suit was fine. It's basically what she wears in her books when she has one. So I don't didn't see much of a need to change that. That suit seems to be closer to her video game appearance, which
hmm
okay, I guess. And Monica's suit, nah, they did my girl dirty. That that thing looked kind of cheap. I'm sorry. Maybe she gets something else throughout the film. Who knows? But that's my one nitpick about it. And I'm wondering if that's uh, a, the villain in the film. I know they've listed it as somebody else, but I'm starting to wonder if that's Carol's sister that was introduced that Kelly Thompson just introduced in her, not just because that run is about to hit 50 issues, but she introduced that character in her run over what past year and a half. So I'm wondering if that's going to be her, and if that is, are they pulling anything else from that run for this film? But
mm.
yeah, it looks like a fun time. I'm sure I'll see it. I don't know if it'll be a day one seating viewing, I should say, but yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
You don't support women? You got to be that. You don't support women? Just say that, bro. Just say that. Just say that.
I support good shit. So, and this looks like good shit. So yes, I'm going to support. I just don't know if I'll be there day one.
Mm.
But yeah, woman, man, whatever. If it's good, it's good, and it gets my money.
Yeah,
Like
and
I,
also,
I
go ahead. I was going to add something, but go ahead.
nah, I was just gonna say, the whole women thing. It took me a minute to see a lot of these Marvel flicks this year. Doctor Strange being one of which, well, this past year, that was probably the best one and had the best performance out of a woman. I didn't see that till like a month after it had been out. So, hey, if somebody wants to get mad at that, they're just gonna have to deal with it.
Kiss his ass.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Also, too, I just want to say this. I don't know if I said it on, here with you guys, but yeah, congratulations to what is it, Kelly Thompson, man, hitting 50 issues is great. We don't see that a lot, and I think Captain Marvel fans are eating. They're about to hit a milestone 50. They got Marvels 2, Captain Marvel 2 that's coming out. So that's great. So salute to everybody on that creative team. Salute to the ladies here in this movie. But yeah, I just want to throw that in there. Elvis, what do you think?
Well, I'm not a big fan of the original film. I mean, it was fine. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I thought it could have been a lot better, but it definitely wasn't as bad as it is. Those freaks that say it's like the worst thing ever. Um, but the trailer for the sequel looks fine. It looks a little bit like it's gonna be funnier. It's gonna be like that whole for Ragnarok kind of mold. Like we're trying to make the next one goofier. Try to get the last claim. That's good. People keep saying that this looks like fresh and new, and that Marvel's getting creative finally. Like that's a lie. This looks like just a movie. I mean, I'm not like don't even tell anything about the story. People are like, no, finally, you're trying with the story. Are you fucking kidding me? There's nothing to say in the story. And it's. I think that people are really just letting themselves get carried away because the Beastie Boys rock. Like the Galactic is a fantastic song. And I think people are like just what they're seeing is the creativity and the freshness and the energy of the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
I hate you.
It's true. Let's play a song from them right now. Who's their number? Everyone loves it. The Beast Boys in the '90s.
Shout out to the fucking Beastie Boys. But yeah, man. Yeah, I agree. It looks fine, and again, I feel like people go overboard with almost every little thing MCU these days. It's like that's how it is. That's the process of an MCU film. It's whenever the trailer first comes out, oh my gosh, this is new, this is amazing. And then what happens what what happens always happens whenever the recent MCU movies come out. Oh my gosh, this movie is shit. This movie is this movie is that. That's the thing. It's got to a point where you just got to go in with no expectations or low expectations. Like the first Captain Marvel movie, I went in with zero expectations, and I thought it was a decent movie. Like decent. It didn't matter that it came in between um, Infinity War and Endgame. I just went in. Is it a movie? It's a movie. It did the job. Boom. And I just hope this one does a better job. Am I expecting a 8 out of 10? No, but would I like to at least leave the movie feeling satisfied and when I had a good time? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, honestly. So yeah, man, I'm game. I'm game. And yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. And yeah, shout out to all the folk who review bombed it thinking it'll do anything, man. Listen, I always say this too. All the online nonsense that happens, it only matters if it's reflected in the real world. Captain Marvel 1 made a bill, like $1 billion. So will the second one make it? I don't know, but if it surpasses that, that would be great. But I know there's a bunch of articles about it. It is what it is at this point. But like I said, wishing everybody luck. Wishing everybody luck. I'll be there day one. I'll be there day one. But on other news, we got word of a brand new comic book publisher that's on the horizon. So they're called DSTLRY, and it's co-founded. Well, it's founded by the two folk who were at Comixology. They're the practice behind it is interesting. So the comics coming out, they'll only be out for a limited amount of time. And, there's a whole system in place for, reselling. They're really supposedly behind the creatives. And I feel like the reception behind this has been mixed. Personally, for me, after Substack and how that seems to have disappeared or just went out with a wet fart, I'm not putting too much stock into this. I know other folk it's either yes or no. Some folk are saying it sounds like it's some NFT shit. But yeah, I don't have too much stock in this. But
You know what it sounds like?
What's up?
It sounds like Bad Idea. Bad Idea. Remember, oh man, we're gonna be print only. It's gonna be limited runs. It's only gonna be available as single issues. No collections, nothing. And you can pre-order ahead of time. You can be on our collectors list. All that kind of shit. Like, yeah, I get it. I get these guys, these publishers, or they think they have to save the single issue, but people like to read comics from all kinds of methods now. So you just feel as like you're like some sort of like small micro brewery that everyone thinks is lame and pretentious. And it comes up as way pretentious, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I feel the same. I don't know. It's are we supposed to be excited about this? I don't know. It's.
I mean, like even Dead Dio, his new imprint with Frank Miller. Frank Miller presents. That's been going out. That's been live for like almost a year now. They have issues out. They're like in like second run, but it's print only and single issue only so far. And like that's the thing. That's what these guys think is like the key. And like maybe it is. I don't know, but I'm never gonna read those books because I have no access to them.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly I forget these books even come out. Like, dude, how many of the Substack stuff that we've been hearing about, like, how many of that stuff has actually like come out? Like, I don't hear anything about
very
this.
little, man.
Like, I don't know. Well, AJ, what do you think about this? I remember we talked about the Substack stuff a while ago, but what do you think, brother?
This DSTLRY, this is really the first I'm hearing about it. Yeah, I'm kind of been out of the news this week, so forgive me for that. But yeah, like y'all were saying, sounds like a bad idea. In this day and age, in the state of the comic industry, I don't know why you would limit the availability of your books. Like, I understand digital is not a huge percentage of the marketplace, but especially if you're a startup, it seems like to me that would be a no-brainer, as to make your product available digitally for folks who either don't have a shop anywhere near them that they can get to easily, or B, who they might just want to
Oh,
try
it's
your
available.
try
It's
your
available digitally, but also limited. So if you miss that, then
That's
you
yeah.
ain't.
stupid. That's so
Now
stupid.
that's even stupider.
Yeah.
That's dumber.
So. Mm-hmm.
Also, I do want to correct you a bit. When I said bad idea, I meant like bad idea. The publisher. Do you guys remember
Oh yeah,
bad
I
idea?
know. I know.
Yeah, no, I got that, but it
Good.
just this thing it sounds dumb.
It
Um,
does.
yeah, I don't know about it. Who you said somebody compared it to NFTs? That's yeah, I'm kind of getting that vibe also. Yeah, I don't. Oh, we're gonna make this available limited. Really, brother? Comics, especially a smaller publisher, they're gonna need all the help they can get, bro. I don't know. It just sounds like two guys who didn't necessarily think this through all the way. I don't know. They might want to go back to the drawing board with that one.
Yeah.
Substack, Substack sounds as many problems as I've had with Substack, and as much as I think it's a scam, it sounds way more
Mm-hmm.
potential to be profitable than this. And hey, like I said, yeah, y'all know how I feel about Substack, but compared to this, it's like hell, like Amazon going up against a mom and pop store seems like would be the best comparison I could think of.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. That's like I don't. Yeah. It's hard for me to come up with words. Like making digital limited is, I don't know, silly, especially since I don't know. I mean, motherfuckers know how to pirate left and right nowadays.
Yeah,
Um, and also, again, one of the main drawing points for it is just like, if it's out of print and you want to resell it, the creatives get a cut back from that. So I mean, that's great for creatives, but I don't know I can't see a scenario where I buy one of these comic books and then it goes out of print, and then I go on their marketplace and I'm just trying to trade it back for somebody, for spectator value, because that's another part of it also. Like it's part of like the spectator market and whatnot. So I just like it's first of all, the spectator market, it really has, I could be wrong, but I don't really see much movement from there. And who's to say that the quality of the comic books are good where you may want to even jack up the price a crazy amount just so you can sell it back to somebody and the creative gets. I get the morality of it, but I just don't. I can't see comic book readers doing this. I don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And I get what they're trying to do also. Like I get it, but I don't know. It's two and two is not making four to me. I don't know. I don't see this lasting long. I don't see us hearing any more about this outside of this initial announcement. Like it's the same thing with Substack. They drew in as many big names. I think they got Ram V. I think they got Stephanie Phillips. Um, who else they got? Who else did they pulled in from there? A couple of like
they got
B and
Tynan, they got Hickman, they got
oh
Nick Spencer, Donnie Cates, Chip Zdarsky, and yeah, that's a lot of big names, and you tend to hear nothing about those books.
yeah. Like I don't know. I could this could be. I'm not trying to feed into the whole comics are dying nonsense, but it feels like they're desperately trying to find an alternative to the big two, something that they believe is going to be like lucrative right off the bat. And I don't know. It just may not work. Again, like we just talked about Substack. I don't hear jack shit about Substack. The only person that I've heard who's branched out from Marvel and DC and has been making waves is Scott Snyder. That's the only person I've heard as of lately.
Yeah, but that's because he was in that like first wave. because before there was Substack, there was Amazon, and Amazon was going to start putting out their own comics. So they got a few writers, and Scott Snyder, he was the big marquee one from there. But even then, even with that, he doesn't put out books solely through Amazon. He has a partnership with Image too. That's where
Mm-hmm.
Nocterra comes out through. Like I say, if everybody wants to make an alternative to the big two, I'm sorry, we've had alternatives to the big two for 30 plus years now. Like it's nothing new under the sun, guys. Just take these ideas, whatever, and ship them to Image, ship them to Dark Horse, IDW if they're still floating. Boom, like I don't know, man. I feel like some of this stuff. The cynical part of me is saying like a lot of this stuff is just money grabs. When these folk
Yeah.
want to go out like, oh, we're gonna do something different than the big two. Yeah, okay, fine. Get in line. There are plenty of companies doing stuff differently than the big two. This isn't a novel idea, guys. So I don't. I mean, hey, good luck to them. Hope maybe it pays off, but yeah, nothing in here sounds impressive to me.
Yeah, and also too, we outside of the big two, I will give credit, to Image, and I will give credit to Boom, and I'll even give credit, to IDW and a couple others. Yeah, they may not be on the same level as the Marvel and DC, but the motherfuckers be dropping heat, and I
Yes.
feel like over the last couple of years, we've been seeing a lot of great titles come out from under them, and now people are starting to realize, oh shit, maybe Boom is the way to go. Oh shit, maybe Image is the way to go. Oh shit, maybe IDW is the way to go. So it's there, guys. It's just make sure your idea is great and just put it out so people can receive it. But this shit right here, like I don't know, man. I don't know. And who knows? Maybe we're talking shit and give it like a year or two. Maybe Substack will probably boom, and then maybe this shit will probably boom. But right off the bat, I'm good, bro. I'm good. A lot of the writers that's on here, I'm already reading your big two shit anyways, but I guess the best of luck to you, I guess. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. So that's my thing on that. Next up, we also actually hold on. Let's talk about this since AJ's here. We held off on it. Allegedly, there's new rumors that they're trying to recast, Jonathan Major's character Kang after the allegations came out about some domestic violence that like rocked the headways and rocked the headlines, a couple weeks ago. There's been a bunch of varying reports. My thing on it is just like, depending on the news source, there's information that's there and there's information that's not there. And it's just been a whole shitstorm. But personally, for me, I'm not buying the rumors because, again, there's I feel like people just love to rush to the whole, oh, let's recast. But there's a lot of legalities behind recasting. So it's not as easy as just saying, oh, this person is out and this person is in. So again, I don't really typically buy into the rumors, but it works out because this new rumor just came out. We didn't talk about it last time we were together. But yeah, I'm not buying it. Um, Especially since we got more information. Apparently, he was the one who called the cops on Homegirl, and then apparently they have to arrest you anyways whenever whenever they feel like they have probable cause for domestic violence. So it's, you don't know what to believe, but also we don't have all the facts yet. So what are you guys' opinions?
One. Let me see how I want to phrase this. One, I'm still waiting until we get to an actual court hearing, and then at that time, evidence will have been gathered and statements will have been presented under sworn testimony, so we can get a little more grasp of what has gone on. If he is guilty, if he did do this, fuck him, get him out of there. Recast if you want to, whatever. If he didn't, hey, let the man go on with his career. This shouldn't hold him back from anything, from any opportunities, especially when we've seen how some of his other counterparts in Hollywood can, do a lot of the same stuff, if not do a lot of the same alleged stuff, and still have productive careers. We have long histories of those things being swept under the rug, or people who have been falsely accused and they've been vindicated in the end, and they've been able to go on and have decent careers for themselves. But the a couple things. One, I just want to say before all of this, man, I hope that the girl is doing all right. If it
Yeah.
was a mental health thing, if it was an abuse thing, whatever, I hope she's getting the help that she needs. Any help that she's deserved. I hope she's around people who love and protect her and can help guide her through this, because you know whatever happened that night, it sounds like something may have been traumatic for both parties. So
Hmm.
hope they've got good people around them in their circles to help them through this. With that all being said, um, this report, it comes from Jeff Snyder. That's where all these other places are reporting on something that Jeff Snyder said on a
Yeah.
podcast. Jeff Snyder is a former reporter with the I want to say either the Rap or the Hollywood Reporter. So he's a legit journalist, guys.
Mm.
My point is, like, has sources that he's cultivated, and so if Disney is having discussions, which, by the way, I'm sure Disney has been having discussions since day one of this news dropping
Hmm.
as to what they're going to do. So them having discussions, that's not surprising to me. What is surprising to me is when people decide when they want to believe stuff that comes out of Jeff Snyder's mouth, and when they don't want to believe stuff that comes out of Jeff Snyder's
Mm.
mouth. Because I've seen this based on the report of what he said on the podcast. Like I said, I've stayed out of the news this week because I'm on vacation, but that's one of the few things I've seen popping up on the timeline on multiple days. People are absolutely running with this, but yet, like, what, 2 3 weeks ago, Jeff Snyder was the same person that told y'all that the cast of the Marvels isn't really vibing with Brie Larson, and she's being difficult on set. Now, I'm not saying whether that's true or not. I like Brie Larson as an actress, but
Hmm.
it's just y'all look kind of funny in the light when this is the same guy who y'all just was trashing a week ago. Oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Hmm.
He's full of shit, whatever, blase blase. And now 2 3 weeks later, you're taking what he said as the gospel. So just tell me, is it Uchiwali or is it one Mike? I
Hey,
just
I,
need to know.
I will I will take accountability because, well, first of all, when it comes to both stories, again, whenever I see a story that's circulated from a non-reputable source, like anytime I see a YouTube link or a podcast link instead of something, like, Hollywood Reporter or, The Wrap, like me,
Yeah,
my immediate thought is, uh let me wait until I get more facts, because for me it's so easy nowadays for somebody with a bigger platform to go and
yeah,
say something, allege that they have sources, and then all of a sudden that is what dominates the news. So I will say, yeah, on both cases I'm calling bullshit, but if he is somebody who is actually reputable and he has sources, then hey, who am I to say they're wrong?
yeah. My thing is, like you said, when something comes out on a big platform, I like to dig into where they're getting the information from. If you can find it, and then, hey, where are they getting it from? Is it a report from somewhere else? Is it a sources type thing? If you can kind of back trace where a story has come from, sometimes you can get more concrete reporting on something. That doesn't work all the times, but sometimes it can help out. Like I said, Jeff, he's a legit reporter. He's worked for some of the biggest publications in Hollywood. So I'm not saying he's full of shit or anything of that nature. Um, my thing is just don't don't take a story and just run with it just because you happen to agree with the subject matter of the story. When you know,
Mm,
just just a couple weeks ago, the man's name was Mud on the internet, um, for reporting about something that is something about one of the internet's favorites. So that's all that is. But like I said, this whole thing is difficult because everybody wants to jump in with their opinion of what happened that night between Majors and this young lady, and we're not gonna know, guys. We're not gonna know anything concrete until May 8th. That's the next court appearance, and even that is a preliminary appearance, so we're probably not gonna get a ton of information in. This is not something that's gonna go away quickly. So everybody just sit tight, let the information comes out. If he's guilty, he's guilty. If he's innocent, he's innocent. But let the thing play out in the court. But as far as Disney, whether or not they're gonna have to recast, Disney is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. I don't have any sympathy for them if they have to change their plans. They'll be okay. Trust me. There are two very real people involved in this, and those are the ones that I think the focus should be on, and should be on, the focus should be on them in the sense of wishing them well and hope they are receiving
Yes.
whatever support they need, and not taking sides or turning this into another Johnny Depp
Gender
and Amber
war.
Heard situation. Yeah, exactly. We've seen that time and time again, and like just let stuff play out in court for once, as opposed to on the internet or on social media or whatever. Just let everything come out in the court.
Yeah. Elvis, what about you? I know we meant to talk about it last time. What are your thoughts, if you have any? Was Elvis there? Oh, but I guess
Might have lost him.
maybe. Oh, he's here. Elvis, you there? Oh. Okay, well, we'll let him get settled. But yeah, that's my thing. Me personally speaking, I hate when these stories come out. It sucks for Jonathan Majors, especially because again, like the timing of this couldn't have been worse, man.
Yeah.
Creed 2 just came out. Ant-Man 3 just came out. The buzz around this dude is insane. This fucking sucks. Like for him especially, and also it does suck for that young lady as well. And again, it's just because immediately the first thing is per usual was people just taking sides. Oh, he's guilty, he's this, he's that. Marvel is gonna have to recast. It's like, god damn, bro, all we just getting is preliminary news. Like, yo, we're in the age now where can't nothing play out anymore. Nothing is allowed to play out. It's just you are guilty, or it's not even not guilty, motherfucker. You guilty. There's no not guilty, bro.
And the thing is, bro, like I don't even know if it playing out in the courts will settle people's opinions one way or another, or be able to change people's opinions.
It won't.
Like from I bring it back to the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case, right? When we see just how full of shit everybody is, like from jump, there were plenty of people saying, "Hey, man, this looks like two shitty people were in a relationship with each other and were abusive to each other," right? And you had Depp stands proclaiming his innocence from day one, and whatever. Forget the fact that he was found guilty in two courts. They did not want to hear it. And then, with Amber's people, once it got to courts in the United States, and they were like, "Yeah, you defamed him to a certain extent about some of the things you said that happened, and you yourself were also abusive." People did not want to hear it. Like people get preconceived notions made up in their mind.
Oh wait, hold on. We might have lost a. Hold on. Oh, AJ, yeah, go keep saying what you're saying, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Preconceived notions.
just that. Yeah, people have preconceived notions about celebrities they like, and they refuse to come off of those, even when they've been presented information that doesn't match up with what they would have made up in their heads. They can't. They can't rationalize with the facts that have been presented to them, and the person that they have made up inside their heads. You know, they think too many of y'all think y'all know these people in real life.
You don't.
Like that. That's what it all comes down to. Y'all don't know these people, bro.
And they
You
don't know
go,
you.
you watch their movies, you enjoy their art. Cool. That's great. You are a fan. You don't know this person in real life. Like, just let stuff play out, man. Like what will happen as far as the court case goes, and as far as recasting or not recasting. But is none of that should be the important stuff right now. You know what what should matter is, like I said, that both of these individuals, that they are okay, that they are getting the support they need. If they need to be separated from each other for whatever reason, then that needs to
Hmm.
take place. But everything else is secondary.
Yeah, man. These people are human. At the end of the day, these people are human. Like, it doesn't matter. Yes, I get it. You know, the MCU has this big following, and people are invested in these characters. But at the end of the day, like Kang, motherfucker, this version of Kang is a person. That's a person. That's a
Hmm.
person that has to eat shit like we all do, and they also have to go through things like we all do. So again, and maybe it's wrong of me to say this, but you know what, bro? We're not gonna see Kang anyways for a while. So this is arguably the best time for something like this to play out. Because what the next time we see this motherfucker is not till Secret was it no Kang Dynasty, and then
Well, depending on Loki too, you might get them there.
oh yeah, that too. But even so, it's still some time. But again,
Yeah.
that perfect time for this to play out. But at the same time, I just hope everybody is fine. Let the courts play out. I know that's a controversial thing to say in this day and age, which is fucking wild. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I just hope everybody's fine. Hopefully it all works out, and everybody can just go their separate ways. Maybe it's a misunderstanding. Because again, that's the dangerous part about how all of this news came out. Just like if you just took it from one source, it's this way. If you took it from another source, it's this way. And
Hmm.
everybody's like purposely piecing together the news and leaving bits and pieces out just so they could get clicks. Like, bro, I didn't find out he was the one who called
Yeah,
the
same.
cops until like
It was like 48 hours later
I was like, bro,
when that
what?
piece of information came out.
It's like, what? That's mean. Like, that's mean. I don't
Yeah.
know the way to say it. That's mean, man. I get it. It's a content game. It's a click game. Like, I get it, but that's fucked up. Like, I don't know what
Hmm.
other way to say it. It's like super
Which is
fucking.
why I say, man, when you get big stories like this, yeah, okay, fine. Read the headline, read the first stories that come out. But still, man, you got to wait. There's always going to be more information that comes out, and the more information could paint him in even a worse picture than he's already being painted in. We just don't know yet. So just
Yeah,
wait and see. Like, this isn't something that's going to be resolved quickly. So I mean, just strap in and wait. Like I said, May 8th. That's his next court. That's the next court of. I don't even know if he's supposed to appear, but that's the next hearing revolving this matter. So maybe we'll find out more then, and maybe we won't. Who knows? Because a judge could see all this social media circus and decide to slap a gag order on this whole case, and y'all don't find out anything until a verdict comes down, and then speculation would really run wild at that point. So,
I mean,
uh,
I'm gonna just say this comment, and then I'm gonna leave that specific comment alone. I mean, look at what happened with you know, Mr. Canada and the Stallion. So look at what
yeah,
happened
yeah.
there. Look at what happened
Hmm.
there. So we saw how much of a circus that became, and
And that shit went on for like 3 years, bro.
yep.
Like
So
that's the part that's everybody. You got to realize this has only been about a month since this Majors story first broke, and everybody wants to you know pick sides, whatever, to say, hey, I'm what everybody wants to come decide what side of the fence they want to be on. whether they want to be in the girls' camp, they want to be in his camp. Like, guys, just wait. Legal cases take a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Ro made a perfect example with the Meg and Tory case. That case took over 3 years from the
Yep.
time that the shooting happened to the time you got a verdict, and his appeals process is going. So, hey, man, like
And
you,
even then, bro, and even then, when we were getting like all the information, there were still people convinced it was, oh, it was this, it went this way. But that's the
yeah,
thing, motherfucker. You can believe what you want, but at the end of the day, like I said, I know what I keep saying is controversial. Until we get a definitive sentence and a definitive verdict, you motherfuckers don't know shit.
yeah,
Don't know fucking shit. But yeah, so best of luck to everybody involved. You know, it sucks to see, you know, somebody go through this, especially a black man. But hey, man, it is what it is, and all we can do is wait and see. I personally don't play the comparison game. I know people are saying, "Oh, what about Ezra Miller? Oh, what about this?"
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna end this by saying this, bro. I'm by saying this. Yo, I hate whenever these type of situations come up and people want to say, "Oh, what about Ezra? What about this? What about this?" Motherfucker, it's the same fucking thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the way how it all goes out. Same thing. When the news came out, people, the first thing people said, "Oh, recast the Flash, recast this, recast that, recast this." Same thing. There's no, "Oh, you people didn't do this for this person," but no, it's the same game every single fucking time. Every single time. Jeremy Renner, same thing. Right when the news about him came out, because that's another name they like to bring up. Oh, Jeremy Renner. Same motherfucking thing happened. People were quick to jump to, you know, conclusions, and it's the same thing. You got to just wait for it all to play out, man. Got to wait for it all to play out. And I think Disney is going to wait until they have all the facts before they make a decision. Because again, I like to go back to the Johnny Depp thing. They had to pay out Johnny Depp the rest of his contract. I do not
Yep.
think I don't think anybody in these companies want to repeat that. So that's why they are waiting. You are not, you want the verdict to come right away for them to make a decision, but no, these decisions, there's money behind them, and these people may not want to spend said money if they don't know all the facts. Period. Finito. The
Mm-hmm.
end. Also, Elvis, his mic ran out of battery. But yeah, Elvis said he guilty, bro. Elvis said that
And he
motherfucker
and he
guilty.
and he very well
Yep.
might be, bro.
Yep.
Like, I'm just saying, just let the information come out. If he's guilty,
Mm-hmm.
he's guilty. If he's innocent, he's innocent. If it wasn't a clear cut case of abuse, if it was just a fight between the two of them that she initiated, who knows, bro?
Yep.
Let the information come out. Let it be presented in a court of law. Let the lawyers have a day and all that, and just take it from there. Don't rush to make judgments on this thing one way or another. Just let it play out.
So it play out, man. So it play out. So yeah, man, that's all you gotta say on that. It fucking sucks that Elvis had to duck out because I did want to mention you know, the Flash 1 minute war. So that wrapped up in interesting fashion. We got a nice little reference to a very controversial storyline, Heroes in Crisis. Um, you know, I'm probably just gonna, I might just do a separate, you know, talk with Elvis with that. But overall, I liked 1 minute war. I think 1 minute war was great for Jeremy Adams because one, they even went ahead and put Flash bi-weekly for this dude. And on top of that, too, me and you do the sales stuff every month. Like we seen that book get itself from up out the mud. Oh, hold on. Elvis
Oh
is
yeah.
back. Hold on. Elvis. Elvis, can you hear us, brother? Hold on. Elvis. Well, I'll keep him there. But yeah, we seen that book bring itself up from out the mud because of the good work that Jeremy Adams did. I thought it was a pretty fun storyline. I don't think we've seen the Flash family work together like this in a very long time. You had Impulse, you had Barry, you had Wally, you
Does that work?
had dude, yeah. Are you
Well,
can you hear us?
so weird. Yeah, let me see. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, dude, you're back.
Yeah, for some reason it wouldn't let me do it unless I had my camera on.
Okay.
But yeah, no. 1 Minute War started great, and then I don't know. Here's the crazy stuff. It lost me. Like I don't know why Adam is still hung up on that. It made me really question his character as a writer. It felt very hacky, very Tom Taylor-esque, which felt like a betrayal because I was like, Jerry Adams is actually a much better writer than Tom Taylor. He does some Tom Taylor stuff, and it makes me feel like an idiot. I'm glad to see him gone because maybe this book needs some fresh blood.
Yeah. No, this is a good thing you came back because I always say this, bro. Heroes in Crisis did nothing for me. It did nothing.
And so yeah, but then why keep bringing it back? No one was thinking about Heroes in Crisis like at all. So why do it? It's very hacky. It's very lame. Very lame writing.
Yeah. For me, the only word I can say actually I'll say this also. Like Heroes in Crisis falls into the same category as what is it? Like Flashpoint and other storylines that, DC, and Marvel, they just like to fucking rehash. It's just like these are things that happened and whatever. I don't have an attachment. Like when it happened, when Williamson kept doing retcons, so I was like, sure, whatever. Didn't affect my interest in it either. Then when it happened again with Adams, like the first time around, I was like, oh, I don't care, but this is an interesting way to retcon it. And for me, same thing when I saw it again, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. It for me, it didn't take me away from the story like whatsoever, especially since these are characters like I honestly though, like, and I'm gonna be that guy. Did people really give a fuck about them?
Narc's back. Narc's alive, everyone. Narc. Everyone loves Narc. Everyone's favorite Teen Titan, the caveman. Narc. No one cared about these guys. No one cared about them before. That's why Heroes Crisis also kind of sucked because like Tom King was just pulling out random characters and then trying to give them really forced pathos.
Yeah. So again, I that's how much knowledge I don't have about these characters. I didn't even know. I vaguely remember him being a Teen Titans member, but yeah, I don't know. Overall, I had fun with it, and honestly, my whole thing with Jeremy Adams is just like, you know what? Financially, I think the book picked itself up way too late. And then maybe that's why they figured let's just make the financial decision and let's just restart with Spurrier. Like I said, I don't have most knowledge on Spurrier. I feel like that's more of a Elvis and AJ type thing. But again, if it makes sense financially, great. And Jeremy Adams was on the book for about a year or two, and he left his mark on the series. And I think you can go home, with applause and praise. Because again, like before this, Wally West was not in the best shape. But in that year or so that he's been on the book, he's brought that fun family feel back to it, and he's restored the interest in Wally West. And it's great to see. And it's also, I know people are mad that he's not on the Flash, but hey, listen, bro, they're starting him off with a brand new #1 with Green Lantern. I would have liked him to start off Flash #1, but hey, it is what it is. He gets to cook from Jump Street with a fresh new Hal Jordan. Dude, cook. Let Spurrier do what the fuck he wants to do, and we can move on from there. Was you going to say something?
Well, more of that, Spurrier, it's going to be a weird fit. Like it's not usually the thing he does. It seems like he's going more
hold on, one second. Pegasus, stay right there. We will answer that.
I'm answering that right now.
We'll answer. Oh, you can answer? Oh, go ahead.
That's a better question.
Okay.
They should do what they did with New 52 Superman. You know, like he was actually a part of Superman's soul. They got separated, and then they formed together. Ever that's what happened to New 52 Superman. Like he absorbed them, and it was ridiculous. They should do that with Black Wally and regular Wally, because to be honest, Wallace, Ace as he's known, was Wally West. He was meant to be Wally West, and we don't thank Johns enough. People hate on Johns. People call Johns a racist. He probably is. Who knows? But he's the reason why Wallace is his own character, because he was the one who I gotta get back in there. I got rebirth. Gotta write that oh no, Wallace was actually the son of Daniel, and he was the he's the second cousin of Wally. Otherwise he'd still be Wally. And with Wallace, he's in a way where I think Impulse should be gone forever at this point. You can't have so many young Flashes. You have Jesse Quick, natural fit with the JSA. You have that Purple Flash. She, of course, just leave China. I mean, and then you have.
I know.
You can only have one young Flash, and that should be Wallace for now. Impulse, he doesn't exist. He shouldn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I'm also gonna give Jeremy Adams his flowers, because I feel like when Williamson was on the book, he wrote Wallace like the ugly stepchild, and that was always one of my main gripes, because every single time he pulled Wallace into the book, he was always mad and pissed off at Barry, and that became his personality. I know he was doing stuff. I think Adam Glass and Priest, did some stuff with him also. Actually, I'm gonna give Priest his flowers too, because he wrote Wallace probably the best next to Jeremy Adams. But I think Jeremy Adams did a great job of incorporating him back into the Flash book and really just growing him as a character. And he's made him more interesting. He's made him more fun. And it's gotten to a point where people are excited to see Wallace more so than fucking Bart in the Flash book. That goes a long way for me. And I think, if Jeremy Adams was to come back to the Flash in the future, why not just give fucking Ace a little mini series or something? Continue to do the good work on him, because I think this is the best he's looked in a while, and I think Jeremy Adams did a great job there. I do think him and Bart bounce well off of each other. That's one of my favorite elements of 1 Minute War, is just seeing them riff off each other. But even outside of that, nah, man, he did good work with Wallace, and I think Wallace is in a good spot for him to at least have a mini series where he can continue to do the good work. Because I think it's time for him to branch out on his own, and I don't mean being a Teen Titan.
I feel like that's the opposite of what they should do. They should tether Wallace and Wally together more.
Yeah.
I don't. When has there been a Kid Flash book? I don't think a Kid Flash book could ever work without just being if anything, just do Flash Family book or something like that. If you need anything like that, but I don't think that they're sidekicks for a reason. I think the only Robin has ever had a dedicated book. Superboy on and off, but it's not something that ever really works. And I feel like there's still so much more left to explore. I don't think that that Wally has ever had that experience of being the mentor figure. Even when Impulse was the Kid Flash character, he was more technical, Max Mercury and Jay Garrick and all that. So this could be a really fun thing for them to really dig into, him finally being a mentor. And I wouldn't throw that away too quickly.
Yeah, that's fair. I also mentioned that too, because I don't know if you guys remember, but in the DC Round Robin, I think it was either 2022 or 2021, there was a Wally book. I think that was one of the books that was pitched. It was just a very short, I think it was maybe 5 or 6 issues dedicated to Wally. And I thought the premise was pretty good. I have mixed feelings on, Brandon Thomas. But I feel like, again, maybe a Jeremy Adams, he could probably do something interesting there. But I also see what you're saying as well, because it's true, dude. Some of my favorite issues of this run is just him and Wally just going back and forth off of each other. And it was great. Like and I hope, and I don't mean to disrespect, Superior. I hope with this new run, we don't just lose Wally and Wally just goes back to the wayside. That would be a big disservice. Like I understand maybe he has a set storyline set, that's fine. But I would like to see him still incorporated in whatever Wally is doing, because we've had enough of Barry. Barry can go do his own thing, and Barry and Wallace was not a good fit. But Wally and Wallace is a better fit. That's my thing. Oh, Pegasus also said something. He said they kind of made Impulse and the other Flashes redundant, but I agree the latest series made me like him. Yeah, it's
all Flashes are redundant. Yeah.
So
I love the Flashes, but there only ever needs to be one. That's why I think that's mostly better when they're all relegated to different teams. That's why I kind of took over like saying a Flash family books. I don't even think a Flash family book would be a good idea, because it's unwieldy. I think that every Flashes are like, you could have them on any area of DC. You could even have a Flash on like something like Just League Dark, and it would be a fun, interesting little thing in that book. But together, it's like,
Yeah, and like, I don't know. That's why I'm sure you've seen the talks also, Elvis. Like people are saying, oh, people should why don't we just have a Wally and a Barry Allen book? I'm not for it. I think Barry recently, what is it? He had a run that lasted from 2016 to, I want to say 2019, 2020. So do we really need another Barry Allen book right off the bat, especially when
I would like a Barry Allen book that was written by a good writer, not Williamson, but it's not important,
It's not important. I mean, maybe we can tackle, the stuff that's happening with him and what's her name? Iris, because he just proposed. But I don't know. I think right now, especially because of the delicate situation Wally was in, let Wally cook on his own and have Barry pop in once in a while. And also listen, let's keep it a fat stack. We know Barry is going to be on the Justice League whenever they come back. So whatever writer is on there, do the Barry stories. Let Wally still do his own thing. I think that's fair, right?
It is.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But yeah, overall, I'm gonna miss Jeremy Adams on the Flash, but I think me and you both agree he left his mark. He did pretty solid work. And you know what, man? Let's see what he does with Green Lantern. Because I will say this: what I like about Jeremy Adams' run is just like before it got kind of too crazy, before we got to 1 Minute War, we had a lot of just like build, and the build was very wholesome, very back to basics, very grounded. And I know a lot of people want to see the Green Lantern world back, but I think Green Lantern has been gone for so long, and Jeremy Adams could be the right guy to again do the groundwork. Let's build with Hal Jordan. Let's get that world situated, and then we can do all the big intergalactic stuff. So yeah, let's start from there. But yeah, Elvis, if you had to give Jeremy Adams' run like a rating from 1 to 5, what would you give it? Damn it, did we lose him again?
Like a 3. Decent work.
Decent work? Okay. What about you, AJ? Well, from the stuff that you've read.
I still haven't finished his run. I'll go about 3.5 right now.
3.5? Okay. Me, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 4. This is the most fun I've had with the Flash book in a while. This is easily better than Williamson's run, and I know I'm a Williamson fan, but I think Jeremy Adams and the work that he's done with Wally greatly surpasses what Williamson has done with Barry. So yeah, I'm giving that a 4 out of 5. Good luck to Jeremy Adams, and yeah, man, Green Lantern is in good hands. Well, we got him and PKJ, so it's in good hands. It's in good hands. Last topic. This was kind of like a Lucy, but we are getting some more stuff coming out of what is it? The Fall of X. One of the main things that's coming out of it is we're getting an Uncanny Spider-Man book. We're getting the Uncanny Avengers returning, and we're getting X-Men Dark. I'm keeping a fat stack. X-Men is not going anywhere. This is bait. This is the definition of bait. They are baiting you guys. Them X-Men books are doing well. Not as well as people assume that they would be doing, but they're doing well. Like, we do the top 200 every single month on this channel, and AJ is right here. What books do we normally see on the top 200?
Them goddamn X books every time.
So I don't know. I know, again, we just talked about Superior. So Superior doing the Spider-Man book sounds interesting. I know it's a mini series. But yeah, what do you guys think, man? Are we stuck with this current X-Men for a while? I know Hickman left, but
that's absolutely what's happening, I keep going back to it, when Hickman started this thing, he had a defined timeline that he wanted to do. He said it was going to be like 5 years. It's been, maybe a year and a half now. He went to Marvel, said, hey, I'm ready to move on to the next phase. Marvel didn't want to. The other X-writers didn't want to. So they let him write a little book they let him write a mini saying goodbye to the line. And that was it. Now we're in this Krakoa Part A phase or whatever. And I think you're going to be here for a while. Everybody was thinking that Fall of X means they're going to, go back to the status quo and the X-Men are going, nope. Like Ro said, too many of them books are selling well enough. So, I wouldn't put it past them to do a major death. We haven't had one since Magneto, and part of that is because of the get out of jail free card that they have with death in the X-Men books right now. But that's about as big of a status quo change as I can see coming. I don't think you're ever, I won't say ever, but I don't think you're going to get back anytime soon to the X-Men operating out of the X-Mansion in upstate New York, or the X-Men fighting X-Men villains, and I don't think that's coming for a while, guys. I think Marvel has been stringing y'all along for months and got y'all all worked up, thinking that this Krakoa era of the X-Men was about to end, and it's really just going to keep on keeping on. So it is what it is. But good bait, Marvel. Good job.
Good bit. Elvis, what about you? I remember seeing your tweet about the Superior Spider-Man. What do you think?
I mean, sounds like it'd be fun. That's about it. I don't really give a shit about X-Men.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's like I'll give them, the X-Men line some credit. Like, from what I heard, the Wolverine book is doing pretty solid. X-Force is doing pretty solid. Like, dude, when I did the top 200 like a couple weeks ago, that Wolverine book was higher than I've seen it in a very long time. So clearly Percy's doing something well there. But consistently though, Immortal X-Men, X-Men Red, the streets love it. And dude, even the latest X-Men book, I was convinced that book was in the mud. Even that has shot up. So they're doing something well. And again, we have our opinions, but we also fall into the category of we don't give a shit about X-Men, but it's clear that the people outside of the online spectrum, they are loving whatever is happening there. So it's good. Hopefully they can sustain themselves. Well, this era of X-Men can sustain itself, by the time the X-Men get reintroduced into the MCU. So you know, good. It looks like we may see that happen. I know people may not be happy to see that, but it looks like it may happen because they're pulling people in with the events. Right now, we have one that's happening right now, Sins of Sinister. It's selling pretty well. 3 of the main X-Men books are doing well, probably better than they've ever been doing. So, I mean, it is what it is at this point. So, yeah, will I be checking out any of these titles? No. Do they look interesting? Yeah. Like, what is it? Dark X-Men looks interesting. Uncanny Spider-Man looks really interesting. But again, I know bait when I see bait, but maybe the bait is not for me. Maybe the bait is for the regular person who's outside the internet and they just love this shit. So it is what it is. But yeah, good luck to everybody, man. Good luck to everybody. But yeah, y'all. I think that's about it. We've been here for about an hour, fucking 15, which is great since we haven't seen each other for about like a good 2 or 3 weeks now. But yeah, y'all. Elvis, why don't we start off with you, brother? Where can they find you at?
My Twitter at THE_SNICKMAN, as well as my YouTube channel on Sourcewall Radio, where I do unboxings and some slight reviews when I get the chance.
All right. I'm just doing a favor. Yeah, pulling up Elvis's. Yeah, so please go ahead and follow your boy. AJ, what about you, brother?
Yeah, as always, y'all can find me on Twitter at Mr_Mitchell_the number 2_the letter U. You can find me there giving hot takes.
All right. And per usual, you can find me on Twitter, Queen _ YouTube, Queen Reviews. I know the vibes is comic books, pretty feet, and booze. But yeah, guys. Hopefully, if there's any of the shenanigans that happen, next week we should be back. But if not, thank you guys for tuning in. Much love, much peace. It's the Comics Code Authority, and we are out.